Okay, so we got a bit of a different video for you today. See, a year ago, give or take, I tried out FireCut, and rather than using it for what everyone else does, captions and things like that, which it is amazing for, I wanted to see how well it could do at completely editing a video for me by itself. The results were mixed, right? There were some elements of it that were like, okay, this is better than somebody who had just started out editing. But then there were weird areas of the edit where there were just long drawn out silences and areas which should have been deleted for the sake of pacing and things like that. Today, I'm revisiting FireCut to see how well it does at editing a video entirely by itself a year later. So without further ado, let's dive straight into it. We're working with a very basic layout here. We've got a 4K video shot directly from my iPhone. So the video itself is very simple. It's me sitting down reviewing Severance, which is a really cool TV show. The full video should already be live on my movie channel if you want to go and watch that. But whatever FireCut ends up doing to edit this video is going to be the result that you guys get to see. So you can see here, this is FireCut. It comes with a bunch of sort of automated ways of editing, and it's not made specifically for that, but we have options like removing silences, removing repetitions, removing profanity, adding chapters, multi-track editing. You can create highlights, which is something I requested a year ago when I first ever tried this, and I'm so glad that it's finally coming to fruition. And then of course we have things like adding captions, which is incredible for short form editors, and we have the option to add B-roll, which again, it's not something that I would use, but if you like automating short form videos, again, it's a decent option for you. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, and it's very hard kind of like, where do I put this that it's not going to be intrusive on this video? Let's shrink it and pop it over here. That's good enough for now. And we're just going to start by removing all of the silences throughout this video. Let's see how well it does, as we want quite a tight cut. And it does have some advanced features where you can analyze things and do it all that way. But let's just go basic for now and see how well it does. I don't know if my PC will be able to handle recording at such a high bitrate and editing at the same time. So if it glitches or bugs out at any point in this video, that's why. Okay, so we took 129 seconds for the entire thing. Sweet. Now let's go back and let's do remove repetition, because when I'm recording in particular, I have a habit of repeating myself a couple of times. So we'll see how well that does. And detect repetition. Boom. Do your thing, honey bunny. This one seems to be taking a little bit longer, which is understandable because it's actually transcribing everything and then finding the points where I say the same sentence again and again. You can see though, it's already gotten rid of like 2 minutes worth of footage, 2 minutes plus, just from silences alone. That's pretty impressive. Now I am thinking about doing a comparison between FireCut and Premiere Pro's default option of removing silences, which I've used in the past and it does a pretty good job, but that one's kind of limited because it doesn't have things like filler removal and decent captions. Normally I have to use a third-party tool to be able to add all of those. Okay, it's finished transcribing. It's now identifying takes timings, whatever that means. Repetition 5 of up to potentially 12. So it's just scanning through the transcription, making sure that it's doing the right thing. This is exciting. I can't wait to see what the end result is. I'm praying to God that it's better than it was originally. Oh, it's done. So we can go through and see all of the repetitions. Let's have a look, shall we? All right, that's going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, that's going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Auto accept last takes, because I assume that the last one that I do is going to be the correct one. So let's let it do its thing. I have noticed there are a couple of little bits that look strange throughout the timeline, like literally half a second clips. I hope that that's not an issue, because it would just be half a second of me standing there in silence and then transitioning to the next clip. Okay, and then what I'm going to be doing here is adding... Okay, then the final thing I'm going to be doing is removing filler words. We're going to do this. We're going to transcribe again, only audio 1, full sequence. See, little things like this. See how the in and out point cuts off just before and after the beginning of this clip? That's what worries me. Removing filler words. Da, 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 da. Okay, so this shows me the full transcription. That's pretty neat. A little bit off topic and probably not related to you specifically, but I also do written format. So if I make a video review of a movie, I also turn that into a blog. I know you can do it in Premiere Pro, but having this transcription here, I would love the option to just be able to copy and paste this so that I then essentially have a written format review and I can just tweak things accordingly. Again, I'm going to let it do its own thing and say cut selected words. Oh, no, I didn't actually select any. Okay, so for some reason it didn't actually work that time. I'm going to go ahead and try and do it again, but I assume there's some kind of bug or error with that one in particular. Yeah, see, unknown errors occurred. It will be reported and we're working on it. It's weird that it automatically gets rid of that transcription though, because I could just go through and go straight to that part. Is there an option to see the transcription anywhere? No? Oh, that's cool. You can transcribe to another language now. That's pretty sweet. Full sequence transcribe. Is he going to transcribe all of it again? So what happened to the transcription we just made? It is gone poof. Then the only other thing you could do really is to add zooms and things like that. It didn't work great when I did it a year ago, but I'm actually just going to watch this through and see if it needs it. If it does, we can test it and see how well it works. I just got done watching one of the most bizarre shows I think I've ever watched, and my God, it's amazing. I got hooked. Now, I've heard of Severance. See, like all of these silences here, maybe if I had set the silence removal thing slightly tighter. Let me see if I can do that, actually. Okay, well, I fine-tuned some of these things here. So we got a threshold set to -24. It should be like 1 or 2, but that'll do. Got a minimum silence duration of 84 milliseconds. That should be pretty much every silence. Got 0 padding, and it looks like the entire thing is going to be deleted. But we can go ahead and, I mean, I don't think this is going to work because there are 884 silences to cut. Let's do auto detect. Does that change anything? Nope. Okay. Let's go for like around about 100, something like that. 91 silences to cut. Original algorithm. Let it do its thing. Cut 68 seconds of silences. Okay, so that's a minute of me standing there staring into the abyss. Absolutely annihilated. Now let's move this out of the way and listen to it again. See if it fixed up that intro. So you still have these weird little bits here. And that's what bugs me. But because you see how we have this sudden jump straight at the beginning, and then you have another one and another one. That's what weirds me out. I don't know how to specifically target those areas, but let's delete these manually and see what the rest of this sounds like. Because I don't expect this to fully automate everything, but it would be nice to have as close to the level of transcription and silence removal you can get just with Premiere Pro for a tool that you're paying for. I just got done watching one of the most... See, repetition. I just got done watching one of the most bizarre shows I think I've ever watched, and my God, it's amazing. I got hooked. Now, I've heard of Severance. I heard that it was a decent show, but when I saw the... It doesn't understand context. That's the problem. It's amazing. Now, I've heard of Severance. That's too quick. And the part of you that goes to work, you want to be able to split the two so that you don't feel the burden that you would feel going to work. You just magically disappear for 6 to 9 hours a day, and then all of a sudden you're back. Like that bad of an idea until you start to... It's cutting off the words. And again, I think that's my fault because I didn't include the padding. I completely got rid of that. But there is, like, even here, there's no silence in this bit. So why is it counting this section to be deleted? It doesn't sound like that bad. You're back. Doesn't sound like that bad. I think in total, like looking at this, we've gone from about 13 minutes down to 8.5. So the fact that this gives you a very rough cut of the entire thing, I think is great. And it does a decent job at that. The issue is that it's still not perfect. It's better than it was a year ago. I'll give it that much. And when you fine tune all the settings, you add a little bit more padding and things like that, I think this could be a really great way to automate editing. It could speed up that process a lot. But again, is it perfect? Is it a one-stop shop for every editor who doesn't want to bother with things like this anymore? No, we're not quite there yet. But the changes that have been made and the customization that has been added, I think that it's come a long way since the release of FireCut. I think I checked out one of the earliest versions ever made, and there is an absolutely huge difference from then till now. So credit where credit is due. I do have to go in, I do have to fix some things, but it is a lot easier. And this process, just cutting out the silences, would have taken me half hour to an hour, depending on the length of the video and how good I wanted the edit, if I'm adding J cuts and things like that. But ultimately, I'm impressed. I can see myself using this now. I am. Before we wrap up this video, I'm going to go ahead and add in the zooms just to see how well it does. But for the rest of that, I need to get rid of all the silences, fix up everything I need to do, and then we'll add those in. Okay, so I just realized I've been talking into a muted mic for the past 20 minutes. Long story short, it finished everything. We reduced it down from a 13-minute video down to 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, something like that. We're now adding in zooms just to test it, see how well it works. I know that I can add zooms at the correct points. I know when to add them. I know that I want to use them to emphasize whatever part of the story that I'm telling. The question that I have is FireCut going to recognize those key points? What I do find interesting, though, is that before, when I used FireCut last time, I'm pretty sure, and correct me in the comments, it bounced between specific words and just added those zooms kind of randomly. Whereas now, it seems to be focusing on the emphasis of the words. So if it does a good job at animating these, again, saving so much time. Oh, we got a transcript. Oh, this is interesting. So it tells you specifically where it's adding all these things. So it recognizes, maybe because this is about money or how cheap it is, heart and soul. So it's recognizing like passion. I don't know why Christopher Walken, which also that's misspelt, but so I wonder how this works. That is so interesting that it kind of understands context a little bit. Let's have a look and see what the zooms look like. I just got done watching one of the most bizarre shows I think I've ever watched, and my God, it's amazing. When I saw the intro for season 2, episode 1, when they're running down the hallway, I was like, I've got to check this out. I had no idea that Ben Stiller directed this. Of all the people in the world, like, okay, so the zoom ins are actually pretty good. The zoom outs, I feel like they're happening too quickly, and I didn't notice a way of actually selecting a length for the zoom. I assume it would just work on a single clip at an adjustment layer. So I'm pretty sure actually that these are, how do I adjust them? There's no keyframes. Am I missing something? Oh, okay. No, I was wrong. So they are adjustment layers. They're just at the very top layer for some reason. That's not that bad. What are they? Just transform effects? Interestingly, there's a bunch of keyframes, which I assume controls the speed of doing things. Why would you not use easing? Is that the same issue that like Excalibur has, where you can't really use Bezier keyframes? I mean, it still does the job. It's just interesting that like it goes halfway through this clip. We go through the transition and then it ends a clip and a half later. I mean, it's still not bad. It's way better than it used to be. Think of like a strange alternate reality where a big conglomerate company is giving you the opportunity to split yourself being, you know, your day-to-day. Yeah, no, see, I would have done things very differently in terms of that. I would have gone zoom in, okay. Strange alternate reality. And then zoom out at this point. Where a but it holds that for too long, and then even things like here, I'm guessing this is going to zoom out too quickly because the end the end is like at least 30 frames here for 6 to 9 hours a day, and then all of a sudden, see, yeah, again, that's too quick. So I don't think I would use these right now. Looking at this, we have the scale, we have face detection, that's all pretty cool. See, the actual animation, which I assume is just zooming in and zooming out, but there's no way to actually control the length. So maybe that's something to add for future updates. I mean, like I said, it's way better than it used to be, and I am impressed with it. The zooms aren't quite there, not yet, but I feel like if you're looking for a way to automate your video editing, this is getting way, way closer to what I would have liked, what I would have appreciated. Fine-tune the zooms. That's what's missing to me, and make the silence removal as good as Premiere Pro's built-in one with the transcriptions. I get that Premiere doesn't have like the easy filler removal and things like that, which is a bonus to this feature when it works. But again, this is a paid plugin, so it's just whether or not that can translate into working as well as the base software. Because right now, having to adjust every single thing, or at least fine-tune the settings, is not something that a standard user who's trying to save time is going to do for every single video. The captions have changed quite a bit. We've got a bunch of really cool stuff. So we have the transcript, we have some basic presets and things like that, but we have the option to add more, which is pretty cool, and create our own. So that's going to be super handy if you have a specific style you use for every single video. Then coming down here, we have like size, weight, alignment, color, letter spacing, all that good stuff. And then there's even more. I don't remember a lot of this being here, but we have like the ability to emphasize words using AI. We have outlines, box, shadows, emojis, wiggles, tilts. So all of the stuff you'll be able to find in software like Opus or even Veed, which is a really cool mobile caption app, which works great. But again, if I can do it all in Premiere, that saves me more time. We even have animations like popping and revealing, growing, bold, highlight, outline boxes. I'm not going to go through the entire list. You can obviously pause and have a look for yourself, but I am really impressed with how much this in particular has come on. Specifically for short form videos, this is what I struggle with the most, because normally when I'm making short form videos, I have to export from Premiere, then I have to put it into a different tool and get the captions, or I can go through and do everything manually, but you know, I don't have time to do that anymore. So having something like this where I can actually get the software with this much flexibility to be able to do everything for me, this is a big deal, and I'm very, very impressed with that. From a year ago, when everybody was calling out the plugin for how rough around the edges it was and how blatantly obvious it was in terms of editing and things like that, I think that it's come a long way. Now, I've been recording this video for an hour and a half, just playing around with different settings. I've cropped it as much as possible. I think I'm genuinely going to be using it for a lot of videos, but there's also a lot of things that I want to showcase and work on going forward. So keep an eye on the channel because there's definitely going to be more videos on FireCut coming out, particularly integrating it with Excalibur and Stream Deck. I don't know if FireCut has hotkey controls, but if it does, that's going to be a game changer. So I'll have to look into that. Okay, but that's all for now. I love your faces. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You're amazingly beautiful. And if you want to watch the final version of what FireCut has edited, there'll be a link to my movie channel where you can go and watch the entire thing. Even if you're not interested in Severance, which I think you would be crazy not to care about that show. The review itself, like I said, has been primarily edited using this one tool. And I think it gives a good demonstration of how well it would help you with your editing workflow. I love your faces. You're amazingly beautiful. And I will catch you in the next one.